We're recording. Okay. Hi there, Marty. My name's Mel, and I obviously from Karma Community Services, and we've got your fella Ethan coming out for a couple of sessions with us, and just hoping today that we might be able to run through a bit of his behaviour support plan. I
Yeah,
understand.
sure.
How long have you known Ethan?
I think he's been with us for about 12 months, the last 12 months, and in our residential care facility. And yes, he's an interesting little fellow. He's 11 years of age, and he's got a few issues, like he's got a learning disability, probably from fetal alcohol syndrome, which has been diagnosed. He's got some developmental delays, and he's got oppositional defiance disorder. So he's got a few little challenges, our Ethan, and he can be quite aggressive. So we'll need to put some things in place for you to have him, like what we do here at the house. And what else do you want to know about him?
Look, does Ethan live with other children?
Yes, he does, but they're a little bit older than him, which is probably good because he lashes out a fair bit, and we wouldn't put him with younger ones. We wouldn't put him with little ones because he'd probably do too much damage.
All right, well, that's good to know. Awesome. Well, I'm just going to really kind of go through a form that I've got here, and
Sure.
go through, tick all the boxes, cross all the T's, so that we've got a pretty comprehensive plan with your knowledge. Because obviously you've worked with Ethan a lot more than we have, and I think especially going through things like his triggers, we're using any restrictive practices for Ethan is really important for our staff to be aware of, and if any kind of
Sure.
what might probably is what we're going to focus on most.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So you said he's 11 years old. Yeah, I'll write that down. And look, how does Ethan identify? Does he identify as a male, female?
Yeah. No, he's a male, and he's okay with that. Not Indigenous, and he's under long-term guardianship order to the chief executive. He's got a child safety officer called Grace Kearney. All of that's settled. Yeah.
Grace's contacts with me.
Yes, that would be fine. Her number is 0404 044 444. And her email is grace@childsafety.com.au.
Fantastic. Okay, so how does Ethan usually communicate?
He is verbal. So there's no problem with him getting his point across.
Do you know where he was born?
No, I actually don't. Actually, I should know that, shouldn't I?
Safety officer about that, but we know he was born in Australia.
Yes. His mother's here in Brisbane, so I don't know if he was born in Brisbane or not. So yeah.
All right. Does he receive any decision-making support from family, friends, or advocates that we need to know about?
He's just under the guardianship order to the chief executive. So yeah, all of those day-to-day decisions and legal decisions are with that office. So yeah.
All right. So you mentioned that Ethan has some developmental, some disabilities. So we're, I think you said oppositional defiant disorder.
Yes.
Alcohol syndrome and developmental delay. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. And so we've talked about the key contacts, which is Grace Kearney. And so getting to the juicy bit, Ethan's going to be really out of his comfort zone whilst we're on camp. So I think often when kids come to us and they are a bit out of their comfort zone, they may display behaviours of concern. So I think Yeah, could you just give me a little bit of a rundown on, what maybe triggers Ethan?
Yeah, sure. Look, he'll blow up first thing in the morning and before bed at night. Generally, yeah, before school in the morning or just before bed at night. He can hit and kick staff and throw
Okay.
things and break things around the house. He has been known to punch holes in the walls, yeah, or throw stuff at staff. So I don't know if he'll do that with you because he's, like he's not used to you yet, so you might be safe. But uh, he flares up for about half an hour usually, and it's pretty high intensity, and then he can kind of self-regulate a little bit up, but he can't up to the end. Like for half an hour, he is out of control.
Okay.
So yeah, he doesn't like doing household chores, so that can be a trigger.
The
Um,
triggers asking to do household chores. Yeah.
Putting him to bed and taking him to school are both triggers because he's obviously doesn't enjoy school very
Okay.
much. So he loves outdoor recreational activities. So you've got that going for you when you take him on camp.
Yeah.
So yeah, he'll hopefully he'll be good for you because that seems to calm him down being outdoors.
Yeah.
So obviously on our day-to-day routine, we can't always get him outdoors, but yeah, that'll be an advantage for you.
Well, I wonder if it'll work because we do, as part of the program, they do need to kind of help with the cooking and washing up their dishes. So, I mean, it's definitely something that we might come across.
Mm,
Um,
mm.
I think with the big open air, it might be a little bit different, and we're certainly not going to, you know, treat him like he's at school. It's meant to be fun, different kind of school.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, he doesn't mind cooking with an adult in the kitchen. Like that's one chore that he doesn't mind. So he seems to find that, somehow soothing or whatever. It just seems to be another happy place for him. So that's good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Um. So, is Ethan on any medication for his aggression or?
Yes, he is. He's on 0.25 milligram risperidone once a day.
And what is that medication?
It's an antipsychotic, and it's for bipolar and schizophrenia. So that's
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
So
And
it's
he,
definitely something that we would authorize you to give him. We'd have to authorize that, yeah.
all right. Does he easily take that medication, or is it a struggle?
Um, yeah, no, he is actually used to that. He knows that it helps him, so he's okay with taking his medication.
All right. So, when Ethan is getting physically aggressive and he's causing property damage, what kind of strategies are the residential care workers using to kind of help him along and out of that zone? Are there any tips or tricks?
Okay. We just use calm voices with him. We use seclusion or timeout, but we usually can't kind of impose that till he's calmed down. So we just stay away from him, but close enough to observe him in case he hurts himself. And there isn't a lot else that we can do apart from talk calmly to him every now and again. We just check on him and keep an eye on him that he's not hurting himself.
So I'm hearing in this conversation that as part of your daily with Ethan, you're using restrictive practice with the spitterone
Yep.
and also the seclusion as well. Like, would
Yeah.
you put him
Yeah.
when you're at the home?
Yeah. We're authorized to do timeout with him. And yeah, in the very worst cases, we are allowed to, like put him in a room, but we can't obviously lock that. We just ask him to stay in the room till he's calmed down. And we don't stay too far away, like we stay within earshot so that we can, see if he needs help, if he calls out for help. And then, of course, we go in and get him when he's calmed down and just talk gently to him and, talk about what made him flare up, and we, you know, talk about what we could do differently next time. And yeah.
So I can kind of hear that when he's in that, you know, high intensity aggression, he can't hear you. You can't communicate to him.
That's right.
All right. All right. That's great to know. All right. So we're probably going to need to get like an authorization and consent before Ethan comes on to,
Sure.
just so that, yeah, we're ticking all the boxes.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's an
Why don't we-
authorization we can do.
Yeah, in the behaviour support, just so also we don't miss anything or miss any doses. Yeah. And so also with that, you know, I think that also using the seclusion as a restrictive practice will also need, I think, some sort of forms. I'm hoping that it doesn't come to that on camp, but you know,
Yeah.
just to have that and,
Yeah.
and authorization for that as well.
Yeah.
So I will forward you an email with both of those just to remind you to send those authorizations forward.
Sure.
Yeah.
Also, I think when he, if you tell him that if his behavior gets out of control, then perhaps he won't be allowed to do something with the group. That should pull him back into line, because he's obviously going to love doing those recreational activities. So with that as like a reward, you know, for good behavior or whatever, I'm hoping that his behaviors stay pretty good, because he won't want to miss out.
And generally we find that with the kids that come on camp, because they're really excited to be there. They want to try a new activity. I mean, we sometimes, if they're too challenged, that we might have an issue. Yeah, but he has to be able to listen to instructions and take instructions on camp as well. Do you think that's something that he can do?
Yeah, I do think so. You know, like obviously not when he's having a blow up. But if he's not having a blow up, yeah, he should be able to listen to something because he's interested in it.
And in terms of like Ethan and other children, you said he's not good with, you haven't placed him with younger children. I think all the kids will be about the same age. Does he generally make friends easily, or do you think he'll need some assistance with that?
Look, not so easily. Like, if he's got a relationship with one or two of the workers, he'll probably gravitate to the workers. But if he can stretch himself by, you know, having conversations with people his own age, he can do it, but he has to push himself.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, it seems to me that if Ethan comes and he's on his medication, and then you know if the staff are aware of asking him to do household chores, or well, he's not going to school, but maybe like requesting something of him is a bit of a trigger. We might try and do that in a bit of a fun way, and I think that might kind of mitigate the risk of an escalation.
Sure.
Yeah. Look, I'm really excited for Ethan to come on camp, and thank you so much for like spending this time with me and gathering the information.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. These kids, they get so much out of this week.
Yeah, I think he will. I think it'll be right up his alley, and if he can keep a lid on his emotions, it'll be great. And we really appreciate you guys taking him with you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Marty, for meeting with me and sharing all the information. Yeah, just that, yeah, all of this will be kind of kept in a container of between me and you, and just the staff that need to know about it on camp.
Sure.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you so much, Marty.
Thank you very much, Mel. Bye.